How many times in your life have you doubted yourself just because someone else didn't approve of you? Maybe you didn't get enough likes on your post, or maybe your work was not appreciated at your workplace. And suddenly you start feeling less worthy. But what if I told you that the only validation you truly need is your own? And that's actually how you level up in life. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop seeking external validation, grow your self-worth, and step into your power. Let's get into it. So what is validation? Validation is the need for approval, assurance, or recognition from others. And let's be real, we all crave for it, whether it's through social media likes, compliments from friends, or recognition at work. But here's the problem. When you rely on others to validate you, you lose your own power. Your mood, your self-worth, and even your decisions start to depend on what others think of it. And that is a dangerous place to be. The key to leveling up in life is learning how to validate yourself. When you do that, you stop chasing approval from the outside and start building a sense of inner confidence that can't be shaken by others' opinions. Now let's talk about the trap of external validation. It starts small. Maybe you post a picture on Instagram and start obsessing over the number of likes on it. You feel great when the numbers are high. But what happens when they are not? You start to question your self-worth. You start questioning yourself. Your self-esteem takes a hit. Or maybe at work, when you put in extra hours and your boss praises you, you feel great. But what happens when you put in the extra work but no one recognizes it? Suddenly, you start questioning your worth. The constant need for validation is exhausting. It puts your self-worth in the hands of others, and that's why it's so important to break free from it. So how do you validate yourself and stop depending on others to make you feel good about yourself? It starts with realizing that you are enough as you are, without the likes, without the compliments, without the approvals from others. Easier said than done, right? But think of self-validation as a muscle. The more you practice it, the better it gets. Now let's talk about why external validation hurts our growth. So when we rely on others to validate us, we are basically giving away our power. Think of it. If you're constantly looking for others to approve you, you start to mold your personality so that you can fit into their version of you or their version of how you should be. You will mold yourself to fit into what they want. You will adjust your personality, your choices, and even your dreams just to feel accepted. But here's the thing, chasing external validation holds you back from reaching your full potential. Because instead of living authentically, instead of living true to yourself, you are living small. You are living in that box in which others approve of you or in which others want to accept you. You are living a life designed to please others, not yourself. And the truth is, no matter how hard you try to seek approval from everyone, you cannot really make everyone happy. So there will be some people who will not like you, despite you trying your best to fit into their boxes. So it's best to accept yourself as you are. So how do we really shift from seeking external validation to validating ourselves? Number 1, acknowledge your worth. The first step is recognizing your value, regardless of what others think of you. So for this, you have to make a list of all the things that you like about yourself or that you think are unique to yourself. And you need to remind yourself of those things every single day. So if I talk about myself, I feel that I'm very empathetic. I can easily put myself in others' shoes and feel exactly how they must be feeling. And that I feel is very unique to me. Similarly, you can find things that are unique about you and you can write them down on a piece of paper. Basically, you need to be your own biggest fan. And yes, that takes time. But gradually, when you do this on a regular basis, you will start to see a shift in how you look at yourself. Number 2, celebrate your wins no matter how small they are. We are conditioned in a way in which we wait for others to praise us, for others to feel that we did a good job. Like the examples I gave before, we want our boss to compliment us because we put in the extra hard work. But if we have a habit of celebrating our own achievements, like feeling good about the fact that you gave in extra hours in your work today and just feeling good about it within yourself, just feeling good about the fact that you did a good job today, that is really important and that makes you feel self-validated. So you need to to start celebrating your small achievements. Whether it's finishing a project, sticking to a workout routine, or eating healthy on a regular basis, or anything else that you've achieved in the day. We need to understand that validation does not always have to come from others. We can validate ourselves and just feel good about it. And the more we start validating ourselves, the less we will seek it from others. And that will be a very good place to be in, right? The third thing that you need to do is you need to set boundaries. When we are in a habit of seeking constant validation from others, we start to become a yes person. We start saying yes to everything that others want from us. We forget that we have the right to say no as well. And that is very important. Setting boundaries is very important. Knowing and realizing and accepting the fact that you do not want to do something is completely fine. Self-validation means setting boundaries and knowing that your self-worth does not rely on pleasing everybody. The fourth thing that you need to do is you need to trust your gut. Another big part of validating ourselves is trusting our own decisions. We are often quick to ask others for opinions before we make a move for ourselves. Before we do anything important in life, we tend to go into a habit of seeking approval from others, asking everybody about it. But when you start to trust yourself and your gut more, it just shows that you know what's best for you. And that's very important. The more you rely on your own judgment for yourself, the more confident you become. And that's why it's a very important step when you're trying to self-validate yourself. Now, if I talk about myself, I have been a constant validation seeker when it comes to social media. Whenever I post something online, I seek validation. I seek likes, comments, saves, shares. And when I see those numbers, it gives me a sense of validation. It makes me feel that, okay, my reel was actually good just because so many else approved it too. But similarly, when I don't see those likes and comments, when I see, a reduction in the number of likes or comments, it makes me question myself. It makes me question my potential. It makes me question whether it was really a good reel or not. So before uploading, my thought process is that it is a good content and that's why I put it forward. So I approve it from my end and then I upload it. But after uploading, if I don't see those numbers, it is then that I start to question myself. So before uploading, I am confident, but after uploading, I give the power in others' hands. So this is something that I used to do a lot. I have spent so much time thinking about likes, shares and comments and the entire algorithm that one day I realized that, alright Shreyashi, your self-worth or your validation of your content or your potential does not really rely on social media algorithms, because that's really very shallow to give the power of an algorithm to define whether you are good enough or not. And for me, that was an eye-opening thought, and that is when I realized that I need to pull back that power to myself. So whenever I'm putting out any piece of content, I just know and believe that it is the best piece of content that I could produce at that point of time, and after that, whatever happens to it, it's just social media algorithm and it has nothing to do with the quality of my content. And that feeling gave me so much confidence that I stopped obsessing over the numbers after that. Now I'll be honest here, stopping to obsess about the numbers is not very easy. Because we are content creators, we do this every single day, and that is why we have to constantly remind ourselves of this thought. We have to constantly pull back the power from algorithms to ourselves. The more you do it, the more it gets better. Like I said, it's like a muscle. The more you learn to validate yourself, the better it gets. Let's talk about the fear of judgment. Log kya kahenge? I think this is one big thing that stops people from doing so many things that they want to do. And this is something that I gave up long back. And that's why I can tell you honestly how it feels to be on the other side. When I started content creation, it was then that I had to give up this thought, because if I kept thinking about what will people say if I put up this piece of content, then I would have never been able to show my face in front of the camera. But because my love for camera was much bigger than what people might think or say, that I just stopped thinking about others and I kept doing what I really wanted to do. Because the truth is, some people are going to judge you no matter what. Whatever you do, people are going to judge you. You cannot make everybody happy, and there's always going to be someone who will not like you. But we have to coexist with these kind of people and we have to grow in that same environment. So we have to learn to ignore these people, and we need to learn to have so much confidence and faith in ourselves that we keep doing what we really want to do. So how do you really grow your self-worth? Here are 3 steps. Firstly, stop comparison, because comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself with others, you're basically saying to yourself that their path is better than yours. But the truth is, no one else has your journey, your experiences, your unique talents, and your own story. So believe in your own path and believe in yourself and stop comparing yourself to others. Number 2, surround yourself with a circle of support. Surround yourself with people who you think will help you on your journey. Surround yourself with people who you think will lift you up. But remember that you don't need their validation, you just need their support. Your validation always has to come from within you. Number 3, do things that make you proud. Focus on activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. When you achieve something, even if it's small, validate yourself by recognizing your efforts and celebrating your successes. The most important relationship that you will ever have is with yourself. When you stop seeking external validation and start validating your own self-worth, you unlock a level of confidence and freedom that no one can take away. You don't really need likes, comments, and approval from others to feel good about yourself. You are good enough as you are. So stop waiting for others to tell you that you are worthy. Validate yourself, because once you do, you will level up in ways you never imagined. So that's all that I wanted to talk about in today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope you took away something from it. And if you did, please make sure to hit a like on the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so yet. And I will see you again very, very soon in my next one. Till then, bye-bye, take care.